JCMN Network. What's up, y'all? Don't know what this is. What's up, y'all? And welcome to First Timers Review. I'm your host, Nico, and today we're going to be watching something a little different. There was a game that I used to love to play. It was one of the first games I got on my Xbox. No game has really topped the fun factor. The game that I'm talking about, that you can see in the title here, is SSX Tricky. EA's top hitter. One of EA's top hitters. With Skate, and then with this, NFL Street, NBA Street, all of them. Those are the EAs. That was the peak of EA for me. Then they just kind of went downhill for that. But you've heard this story before. We're not playing the game because if I was gonna play it, I would have put that on my JCMN arcade, which you can check that out now. I got an episode up of me playing, and it's very, very interesting. But today we're gonna be checking out the DVD content. So most games always have these extra features, either like maybe a demo or behind the scenes. This one has some DVD content. And I just saw it while I was about to play it, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Without further ado, you know what I'm about to say. This is SSX. Oh, I wasn't expecting it just to play like this. Can I pause? Oh, I can't pause. So we're just gonna have to watch this through. Sorry. Oh, cut that out. Don't you dare copyright me.
First game was really about really dedicated people who had an idea, had a vision.
We want to be, so far away from, simulation snowboarding and out here somewhere.
Smart move.
Throwing stuff in there, which is just,
It's snowboarding.
Where'd that trick come
People
from?
like seeing it, but come on now. If you want to play it as a game, you got to get wacky.
We're noticing the efforts that you're putting in now. Give yourselves a hand. This was our milestone review.
Why did they put him on a bike?
Look at me like that.
Oliver Platt playing Luther.
I am a man's man.
Luther was meant to be this over-the-top character.
See, I didn't play the first SXX, so this SSX Tricky was my first introduction.
SSX Tricky is different than all the other games out there. I've been doing this.
It sure was, and it sure was.
For sure.
Still to this day.
In this kind of game, we're not telling a story. We're creating an experience.
Right, and I think a lot of times, I think games kind of got away from that, especially the story aspect. Too much on the story and not worrying about the experience. Like you only worrying about the experience within the story, and that you kind of want to go, I don't always want to play this. I want to be able to just go to the next position and feel that same experience, but there's a separation of it all. I didn't play the first one, so SSX was the original game I played, and 3 I heard was not that bad. It actually is kind of on par with Tricky, but I haven't played it. But stay tuned to JCMN Arcade. I'm sure I'll get into it. It's kind of hard for me to commentate on some of these videos because I can't pause it.
How do you make life more fun?
Just the freaking tricks in this game, man. It's not even like they are over the top, but it's not the main focus. It just adds to it.
Free riding with some of the best riders in the world was such a better experience than watching people compete in slalom or half pipe.
Definitely.
There's nothing in the game that we do that's impossible, but there's a lot of stuff that we do that's very unlikely.
Kind of like how Tony Hawk used to be. I mean, not Tony Hawk, like Skate. And I think that's why Skate was such a good game, because some of the stuff that you can do on there, you don't see people doing it, but it's cool that I'm able to do that.
There's a lot of the new Uber tricks where people release their board and flip it around and do this and that and stick it back on. Well, people aren't doing that yet, but someday people will be.
This character's got an inline skating.
Right, and once they start doing that, that's gonna make snowboarding ridiculous of a sport to watch.
Luther can
Get them old computers.
A favorite trick? It's like a breakdance move for JP.
That's
The younger
crazy.
audience seems to be way more into doing tricks. The first thing they do when they get on a course in a game, they look for the first thing they can jump off. Because I think it's a fantasy. In their real life, when they're snowboarding, you know, they see a big 10-foot kicker in the terrain park, and what they really do is they look at it and go, oh man, I wish I could go off that at 30 miles an hour. But this allows them the ability to do that. Everything we're doing now is either improving the game, adding to the experience, or most importantly, giving people new experiences they've never had before.
It is so great, and that's so weird about this game, because it's never, to me, never seemed like it was really a racing game, but yet that was an element of it. I'm not too sure if it really is a good thing, because sometimes it almost makes me feel like, why am I doing the tricks if it doesn't really matter, unless, you know, get boosts and all that other stuff. But when you're going against CPU, them boosts don't get you that far, and you're always capped at like 71 miles per hour or whatever, so it's never like you can go super fast. I would be interested to see if they did this game or like remastered or just did another version of this that actually was more favoring the tricky side of it all. That's the tricky version. Then wondering how they would balance that, because I think there is something to that. Like maybe the tricks play towards the speed, you know, like in Mario Kart. Let's get a little full screen in this one. Like in Mario Kart, the weapons are the things that stop the other person ahead of you so you can keep going. But they're not a big distraction. It's not like the coins. It's almost like the coins are the tricks and the card is obviously the border. And you're like, if it was just that element, what's the point of the coins? I think the coins is supposed to be like help out speed. See how it's not even really an answer. Other than that, it would be very interesting. Very interesting to see if there's a real balance to that. On to characters. Game design is just amazing.
You have great taste.
Thank you.
To have said, if you have a guy with an afro in your game, that you're gonna do all right. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the love?
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so that was the first one. Interesting. I gotta play the first one. Ooh, we can also see the previews for the upcoming games, or maybe already out. I don't know what this timeline is. All right, character voices. Let's get it. Oh,
Voices.
interesting. We get to pick which one.
The voice of Eddie.
What do they do? What are they showing?
Hey, Luther! How'd you fit that board in your trailer? It's like taking candy from a baby. All right, let's do it.
I think because it also just captures the time, basically. Everybody's kind of like skateboarder, surf guys, MTV type stuff.
Yeah, man, I was getting mad speed, and I hit that lip blood out. Oh yeah, baby.
He definitely had to been losing his voice.
Harder than playing the game. I usually just play with Mac though, so I wasn't really familiar.
I feel like everybody plays with Mac. That was always my go-to character, but
We have it together.
Great, can't wait.
All right.
See you.
Have a good day.
did it freeze or that's just how it ends? Okay. All right, we gotta see who plays Mac, because I can't keep picking Mac. I ain't no Macy Gray diss to you. I never pick her, so.
I've never been a video game character. So now I feel like I've made it.
I'm pretty sure if I actually heard her, I would have picked up on that.
Of course I play.
She has a very distinctive voice.
I expect you to come in and say like, ooh, ah, oh, help me. Here we go. Well, I didn't know that
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
She's a snowboarder and she wears bell bottoms and she has a bald head. I think that's genius. I love her.
And then let me check out Mac.
Ryan Wall, the voice of Mac.
I don't know who Ryan Wall is, but you got the skills to pay the bills.
I'm back, taking over the character of Mac again. Like I
Okay.
played this character last year. I'm playing it again, just adding a lot more.
That's
voices.
good. So he's been in here before. I didn't play the first one.
Wake up, bonehead! Boombastic! The definition! I'm bringing the smack down!
I've heard all of these, which is so crazy.
He lives that hip hop lifestyle. He's a cool kid.
He lives that hip hop lifestyle.
How was it? Kicked it. Kicked the large, man. My voice is almost gone, but
Unbelievable! I'm the man, baby!
That's amazing. I'm glad that he did his thing. And last but not least, I want to check out these previews. But they just Sled Storm preview. This is so funny. From the makers of SSX and NBA Street and SSX Tricky. Ooh. Just trying to tackle all these little sports, aren't they? I haven't heard of this one. And I don't know if you could do the same thing on sleds. Like, I don't know. Spring 2002. Woo! Yeah, I don't know if the same concept really works with sleds. But I don't know. I haven't played that game and I didn't hear too much about it either. So I don't know. I think there is a limit to how wild you can get. NBA Street. Okay, we good. Oh, this is the first NBA Street too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Gary Payton. Is that no, that ain't VC. Tracy. Oh, there go Vince right there. Oh, okay, everybody's Allen, White Chocolate, Jason Williams, whatever. It's so wild looking at this now, because this was amazing looking. I guess because it was just different and the mechanics just worked with this art style. NBA Street. Once again, that was another game I didn't play the original. I played the NBA Street Volume 2 first and then played 3. And I think I kind of went back and played NBA Street, but I don't really remember having that much fun like Volume 2 I did. But, well, that was everything so far. I mean, for the most part, it was everything. And the DVD content, I still love this game. Playing it now brings back so many memories and just that same feeling of like the joy. And now I know recently that Skate came out. Well, not Skate, like the announcement that Skate is on the way, probably gonna come out like in 2022 or 2023, whatever. That also probably means that eventually they're gonna go back to their old games, like the NBA Street and the NBA and the SSX. I know they tried an SSX. I played the demo and I just was not feeling it. It felt like it was trying to be too simulated, and I get it. At that time, it seemed like simulated games was the thing with WWE and NBA and Madden. But the reason why these games were so great is because they kind of balanced out realistic games. So you had a Madden, but you also had an NFL Street. You had an NBA Live, but you had NBA Street. So you can kind of bounce back and forth with realistic and fantasy, I guess. So I think that's what makes these games more interesting when you have a balance like that. Like, I love simulated WWE games, but you counter it with a goofier version. But now we're at a point where WWE can do simulated, but some of the moves and some of the actions could be kind of like over the top, because that's what wrestling is. It is over the top. I want to be able to stack up some chairs and slam somebody down, you know, and it don't have to be that realistic. It's a video game. You know, there's a balance, and I'm not sure exactly what that balance is, but EA, bring back SSX. I'll be for it. Do the tricky. What did they say? Do your source material should be SSX Tricky and SSX3, as far as I heard, but mainly tricky. Attention to detail when it comes to music. Just make it seem like you care, and don't you dare add microtransactions. I do not need it. And no downloadable content. Just give me the game. I mean, and then if you put a little online aspect to it, you know, you get a little replayability. I mean, maybe like cosmetic things, but not no play to win or, you know, whatever. And also creating a character. That'd be great. You know, a couple little different voices to go with your character, and they got their own special things. You don't really have to do a style of border, because you could pick any person in this game and it never feels like you have a disadvantage. Now, they do have their abilities, but eventually they all kind of even up. Other than that, that's it. Do a little face scan thing so I could kind of see myself in the game. I think it'd be kind of cool. But other than that, if y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all. Wait, before y'all go, comment below and let me know what other First Timers Review stuff you want me to check out. Like maybe older video games, DVD content, or any other shows. Let me know and leave it on a comment in the comment section below. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.